We get the stream shared. We're live. We're live. So we can stop slagging off Basson now. We're live.
What, I can't call Basson a twat anymore?
Oh, no. That's only, we can call him a lot worse in our chat anyway, so don't worry about that. Gentlemen, how are we all? We are back. Big Mick is back. With Stiggy. Gentlemen, I don't want to hear myself coming back for the stream. So yeah, gentlemen, we are here. Season
radio check.
Yeah, season 11, round 9, around Qatar. We've got, I believe, I'll go through the standings in a little while. As you know, last minute Mick, just winging it, literally just logged on now. There's the stream. Let me get into the Discord. How are you, Stiggy?
Hello, mate. I was working out how loud I am.
I haven't got my stream turned up, mate, so maybe you want to mic check yourself on the Discord.
I think I'm alright now. I'm just kind of keep on muting myself to see if I can hear myself through the stream back, so...
Right, ready?
I sound ridiculously quiet, actually, on your stream.
I'm going to turn my...
Maybe just your chat mix or something. Turn me up in the chat mix.
Just winging it, literally just logged on now. Right, bear with me, so I'll switch again.
Maybe just your chat mix or something. Turn me up in the chat mix.
No, I've got... maybe it's yours, but I've got my phone. I'm going to turn that down now. I've got my phone volume. I've got my stream on my phone. And I've got my phone volume turned up full blast. And you're coming through nice and clearly, mate.
Coming through clearly, but coming through quietly is compared to you on the stream. But it's much of muchness, really. It's not like it's the end of the world. Yeah, I'm nice and quiet, but I can't go up any louder than this. I can obviously talk more. That's pretty easy way of doing it. But no, we're all right. We're in. I can hear myself, so it's not a problem. I'll just make sure I can turn this down now. Turn down your stream. Thank you, Dave. Right. Right. So we have. Where are we? Qatar. We're in Qatar. That's the first thing to mention. We're in Qatar. Where are we? So yeah, we're in Qatar. According to the game companion, what the hell are we our elite? So. Be there, Mick. Right off. Being I can't hear Mick anymore, but it doesn't like his stream can hear him either. Alright, knobhead. Yep, you know where to shove it, speak sheet. Yep. No, there's a bit of noise from Mick. You there, mate? Alright. Just turn on all chat messages. Yeah, community guidelines, yeah, whatever, mate. Right. So, we're in, it's what races start 9, I think. And basically, we've had two main competitors at this point. We've had race winners wise, it's either been F1 Riley or our Big Dory. However, last race we had Mr. Calvin come in on his first race in the elite division. I think he's here tonight as well, is he? Is he checked in tonight? Is Calvin checked in tonight, or is he in a bloody, or has he already been put up another tier or some shit? Fuck knows. God knows what's going on. Anyone? Calvin's in. Everyone's in. Right. Don't need to connect my device. Hello, Monday. I mean, Trouser in the chat. Hello, mate. I think it's just me. Oh, there's Mick. Can you hear me now? Can I hear him now?
Mick, Siggy, can you hear me?
I can now, yeah.
Oh, okay,
Finally.
yeah. No, I was just talking. I can hear you coming through my headset,
Yeah, yeah. I couldn't
yeah.
hear you on the stream either, so
All right, so yeah, you can hear me now. Well, look, I'm just going
loud
to
and
run
clear,
through
mate.
the. I'm going to run through the standings quickly while we're here. We've got Mr. Dave Riley on
Mm.
322. We've got Arbeg Dory a point behind him, so we're looking at possibly, well, not possibly, we're looking at a straight two-horse race for the title. We got Looney Man in third, and only a point behind him is Cordon Bleu on 209 and 208 respectively. Then we
Yep.
got Prof on 181. We got Lee Webb on 174. We got Pray for Ye on 171. Basson on 169. Speechy, PGR's biggest knobhead, he's on 157. Alligator on 101. We've got Disco Bobby on 75. Mystery on 65. Max Lax on 62, which is quite surprising actually, considering Max Lax won the
It's
first race of the
one
season.
race, and that's exactly where he's been since there.
And then we got
Um,
Maverick on 58. We got Destructive J. Little letdown Larry's gone to reserve now on 58. We've got Calvin on 50
so
points. That's all from last week.
Calvin's a new body, yeah, and he won the race. I don't think that was not a dominant win from Calvin. He did win, I think, the previous week's Apex tier, apparently by a huge margin. But it was a pretty close fought battle. You know, a pretty close fought battle between the top Arbeg Dory and Calvin, basically having a bit of a scrap for the whole race between each other, and Calvin came out on top.
So it should be a good race tonight then. Then we got Royal Rumble 48. We got
Yep,
Kian on
agreed.
43. Kempy on 35. Tommy with two Ys on 34. Exgonski on 27. Hilly yet to score. We got the Mercedes with a 101 point lead currently sitting in first. We've got the Astons just 101 points behind, as I've just said. Mercedes are 491, Aston 390, McLaren 379, the AlphaTauri on 309, the Ferraris on 290, the Alpine on 248, Sauber on 190, Haas on 113, Williams on 89, and the Red Bulls on 70, last but not least. And just as I say that, Stiggy, I'm going to let you take it away for 2 seconds because my daughter
Right.
is trying to do suicidal movements and try and climb out of her high chair. She's just finished her dinner. Give me
Yeah,
two
that's all
seconds.
right. No problem. I'll let you take care of that. So, I don't know why people are ready up, but anyway, regardless. So yeah, we're at Qatar tonight. High downforce circuit all the time. Basically, this track, it's going to be all about tire management. I think it's a pretty beefy track when it comes to um, tire management. Have a quick look on this on my data I've got here. I think it's a pretty hard. It is a really hard track on time. Where fact is, soft tires are useless. Soft tires will do 3 laps and they'll be done. So it is going to be a medium hard base stint for the race in some way, shape, or form. But even then, the mediums. This is going to be a really tough race. Tire wear is atrocious here. Um, I'll try and invite Alligator. So I'm just waiting for the everyone to. I don't know why we've readied up. To be honest, I think people readied up too soon. But I can't invite Alligator until we're actually in the lobby. But I should be able to do it once he's in the session. Well, once we're in the session ourselves, so we'll let that hopefully come in. Invite some requests. Is Alligator online? I don't know where he is. Where is he? Alligator, mate. You have you got me as a friend, Alligator, on here or not? Because that's going to be a question. God's sake. Bloody hell. Right, we've got Carnage and Shoeing here as we're down to, I mean, yeah, I'm just waiting for everybody to kind of work out where's bloody Alligator guy's gone.
I'm back in the stream, Stiggy,
Hello.
but if you just...
Have you got Alligator as a friend?
No, I don't think I have, mate, but just before we go any further, I'm about to stick a ranting message in the Discord, because from what I can see, we've got currently one person tuning into the
Yeah.
stream.
Do you know who that is? It's me on my phone.
Yeah, and
That's
it's
me on my phone.
absolutely... I don't like swearing on my stream, but it's fucking ridiculous. Alligator's joined, but it's fucking
Yep.
ridiculous. If these lads can't even bother tuning into the stream, what's the point of me and you even being here, mate? 12 of them
Agreed.
are turning up. 12 of them have turned up, and they can't even turn the stream, so I'm just about to have a rant. And I'm not being bad, Stiggy. If need be, mate, I'll stop the stream. I don't really care, mate. I'll stop the stream and I'll go and spend time with my family. Like, if I'm taking time out of my life to come and do this, and they can't even be bothered to tune into the stream, then I don't really see the point, mate.
I don't disagree. Yep. We'll have to wait and see. I wonder if, again, like, you know, I've said before on when I'm watching streams and stuff, I might not be able to be actively involved in the stream, but I have it up on my phone in the or on my screen next to me while I'm racing. You know, you can have your. I appreciate that it's difficult whilst you're in a race to listen to the stream itself, but you can at least have it up on your phone to give the person that's streaming the stream count. You know, we're back up to only 4 people now, which is, well, 3 discounting me. So that's petty numbers, to be honest, guys. 4 people on a 3 people on a stream count is poor. You know, I mean, it's mixed decision really at this point about what he wants to do. But if we've only got 4 people joining the stream for commentary, then hello Pigeon. How are you doing, mate? Welcome to the stream. So Pigeon's watching it, and he's not actually in the race. So I appreciate Pigeon giving some love there. I know that Danny does the same as well. What the hell's this? Oh.
Yeah, I'm here, mate. I'm just going off on a rant in the chat at the minute, mate.
Yeah, no problem, mate. I know that Pigeon's tuned in and said hello. Speeches come back. We're up to 5 people now in the chat. I don't know how many of those are actually in the division, but I was saying, you know, it's all about just watching the race or having it on in the background to show some support. You know, it's not. It's difficult to listen. I understand it's difficult to listen to a stream.
Turn the volume down, mate. Turn the volume down, but at least show us that you're in the stream.
That's
yeah,
what I do.
You know?
You know, when I watch my stream, I have your stream up on my screen whilst I'm racing, even though I might be able to hear it. Or if I'm on a Sunday, for example, and that one of us in the stream, like Danny, might have the audio on, and the rest of us will listen on Danny's stream but watch on ours. So I'll have it on my own screen next to me, but I'll be able to hear it through Danny's stream or something. But yeah, you know, we need to be able to show some support here for commentary. You know. So yeah, I appreciate the love, Pigeon. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Pigeon. Pigeon's always in. We've got up to 7 now. I've just told it. I don't know if you've seen my comment in the chat, mate, but I've just said it how it is, mate. I don't sugarcoat. I don't sugarcoat anything, mate.
No, I think you're rightfully so. I'm trying to learn 40 laps of Bahrain, trying to learn no TC. Well, Pigeon, I think if I'm being honest, mate, I think Bahrain is the wrong track to learn no TC on. It's difficult. Some of the corners, I think I'd spend practicing it on somewhere a little bit more predictable. As Alligator's left the session immediately and retired, they don't ask for.
He's just put in the Discord. I can't take control.
Okay, so we might have to do a lobby restart if Alligator can't do. But I don't know why he's left the session, because you're meant to rejoin back in for the race. But I'm matching your PB there. Well, fair enough. I mean, personally, Pigeon, somewhere like Imola, I think is a good start, because you get a lot of understanding for low, medium speed, and high speed corners, and it isn't too. The track itself isn't too difficult. Yeah, T2, T3, understood, mate. Yeah, that is a rubbish place. Anyway, it's hard when you're a tenured driver. 10 people in the stream now.
It looks like my message has worked, but hopefully.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to get. I don't know if you want to see my message, mate. But I had to tell it because you know what? I shout out. You know what? We're in. I don't even want to start sitting here, start name calling. But I am going to throw a few names out now. Like, we've been doing this from the start. Mystery, Royal Rumble. I've never ever seen them in the stream. Never. Never. Arbeck Dory,
haven't
Lee
seen
Webb,
them
Riley,
commentary.
Pray for Ye, Gordon
they
Blur.
talk. Yeah,
Prof,
Basin.
I'm sure I've seen him in a couple of. I've seen him in a couple of times. Bassen's always in there. Looney Man, I can't think if I've seen him before, but you need to start getting in the stream, lads. Because if you want, me and Stiggy, we'll just go and jump in. We'll just go and jump on comms in another division and leave you boys just rating around yourself. It's not enough that you can't even be bothered to turn up. Only 13 drivers now every week, but. You know, I tell you how it is, Stiggy, mate, honestly.
Oh, no, I don't disagree. Have you got... I need someone to invite... Alligator, can you send me an invite on a friend request, please, so I can invite you into the session again? It was...
and same goes for me, Alligator, mate.
Invite Mick, because Mick will be here all the time and more than I will, so yeah, invite Mick.
Yeah, if you look in the Discord, my PSN, if that's if Alligator's on PSN.
He's on EA, but the EA account, again, it should be...
Okay, then. Yeah. Right, Alligator, I'm going to... but then EA, I'm going to have to log out of the... I won't be able to... No, but I won't be able to accept him.
Name. I can do that, I think. Why can't... What do you mean? Can you not accept friend requests on a bloody multiplayer session or some shit?
Not... If it's PSN, I'll do it from my phone, but during multiplayer, I can't accept it through multiplayer.
Oh. I've got one off Alligator. Let me accept it now. He sent me a friend request. Let me add him in. Accept. Here he is. Right. Friend request accepted, Alligator. Refresh the list. Is he appearing online? That's the second question. There he is. There's your invite, mate. Thank you for doing that.
Right, so let's get into the comms now.
Yeah,
Riley, top man for tagging my stream, mate. Legend. Yeah. Riley. So yeah, look,
they do. I mean, you know, they don't need to be messaging in the chat. Maybe just trying to say hello. But I understand while they're racing, you can't type. We know that.
I completely understand that. And if like we just said,
keep the viewer count up.
Yeah, like if I'm not being bad. If I look down in the right hand corner and I see 4 people watching, it gets a little bit disheartening, mate. Do you know what I mean?
I don't disagree.
Calvin's gone straight in the second place. So I don't care. I don't care if you don't type. Well, if you want to type, I don't type. I wank. Pigeon, you're an absolute legend.
He does do that in racing as well. Though, to be honest, it's not just this. He does.
But you know what? As long as you rear your head up a little bit before the stream, say hello, which I believe what Speechy does. Speechy pops up before he says hello, and I know that he can't watch it during the thing because it puts him off. So he maybe logs out, turns the volume down. But I always know Speechy goes back and watches after. But as long as you just show a little bit of love, do you know what I mean?
Has it on mute. Well, yeah, I mean, just has it on mute. All we want is to have it on mute. We don't need you to type in the stream. Just have it on muted in the corner of your screen. You know, I think I use it to my advantage because I get to see what the gaps are. when I'm watching you on a Sunday, I use it to my advantage. It's good to see what people are doing, who's boxing, who's on what tyres. Because after all, you know, we're not allowed to use the race director in the race, and you're my race director, Mick. So you know, if I'm racing on a Sunday, I normally have it up. And
that's what does me. My numbers on a Sunday, my numbers on a Sunday are absolutely fantastic. Like my stream on Sunday, Stiggy, I think at the height I had 19 viewers, and I checked it today. I think my Sunday stream's already got like 56, 57 views.
It's all the incident reports on all the POVs you want from the live stream for the incident reports, what it is. But I don't know if you were on board to see all the Formation Lap carnage that we did. Actually, did you? I
was on board with some of them. Alligator's asking for another invite. Alligator's asking for an invite. If you could shoot an invite, Stiggy.
I think I did send him one, but I'll send another one. Of course I can, Alligator. Yep, it's on its way.
I haven't taken time out, so just let me just go through. Dave Riley, hello buddy. Speechy, Manic, Alligator, Arbeck Dory in the chat. Pray for Ye, Lee Webb, Calvin. Yes, nice to see. That's what I'm talking about. Look, second week here, and the fellas in the chat. Good on you, Calvin. Sitting there in second place also. Bang on, mate. Speechy's there. Pigeons in there. Egg off hazard. Vamos, F.R. Venga. But yeah, big respect to all of you boys. Big respect. So we've got 7 minutes of qualifying left, and we've got Arbeck Dory just about to start a lap, or he's in the guts of his second lap. He's on a 1:21.7, 2 tenths behind is Calvin. Pretty close, actually, Stiggy, the front four. There's
It is, yeah. I
much
mean,
to
they're
shout.
separated by front four separated by 0.3 of a second, which is not a lot on this circuit. I was saying whilst you were on mute earlier that this is you can't. There's only really two strategies here. There is either medium hard or hard medium, right? And even then, it is all about time management. The fact is, the mediums will maybe do 10, 11 laps. They will do no more. Mediums wear at about 6% a lap, right round here. So if you're not, if you're not, I just want to read what Sweetie said. Show about the numbers. I enjoy this in the stream. Even leave it on because I need to correct myself from what Stiggy says. Yeah, he also listens into me when I tell him off for his stupid lines. Anyhow, but no, it's a really hard circuit to manage tyres on because temperature's a huge problem as well. You know, we're expecting the mediums to last maybe 11, 12, but at best, 12 laps. And they're going to be in puncture territory from after 10, right? The hards will maybe do 20. So you're going to be just at the limit of the race distance, both tyres. You're not going to be safe when it comes to tyre wear on both stints, right? And the undercut here, if you do it, the undercut I think is really powerful because you're essentially doing, you know, twice the distance on the hards as you will be on the mediums, right? So if you do the mediums and you jump on a set of hards and you manage to gain, let's say, 2 seconds a lap for 10 laps, maybe not that excessive, but on average, let's say you gain a second a lap over that stint, you're going to be 10 seconds clear of the next car when they box on a set of mediums, and it's unlikely they'll be able to catch you that much more. They maybe will.
Prost just from so sick. Prost just gone up to second. So he's narrowing that gap. Absolute margins between Prof and Calvin, but Calvin's was his first run. Now it's my first time of actually seeing Calvin drive. I have heard a lot of good things about Calvin. Alligator's asking for an invite again. Last time he seems to have a problem.
I've just invited him again through E8. Yep.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'll be honest with you, Stiggy. I hate this track. I hate this. This is a motorcycle track. It's a motorcycle track. It's a MotoGP track.
Migrating host. Bason's left the session.
Bason's left the session, right? That's lobby skibbity bidoo.
Let's have a look at this first, but I just want the lobby could be skewed, which might require us moving to a one-shot quali, which is good news for.
And look at that, Calvin actually just smashed it out of the park.
Yeah, Calvin's rapid. I want to tweet at Bason and see what's going on. I'll invite him back in as well.
He's in the chat. Lobby has crashed. Right, gentlemen, those who are in the stream.
Lobby hasn't crashed. It's just everyone's. It's Bason. It's your lobby. It's Bason's the one that's left. So I'll re-invite Bason first. If he can get in, then we'll do that. It depends. I mean, do we want to just call it, do it to an OSQ at this point, and just it means that Alligator can have a go? I'll invite Basin back into the lobby, see if he can pick himself up.
Alright, Basson, your Calvin's not going to like my comment now. Basson, it's your call, mate. Do you want to call it, move to another lobby, get yourself in, try Alligator again, and go to one-shot quali?
There's one thing when a normal driver has a DC, but the lobby host disconnects can cause big problems.
Yeah.
Can cause big can cause problems if there's an issue with the lobby. So I've just invited Basin to see if he can get himself back in. If he can't, then we might have to consider a restart. We're trying again. Okay, restart and we'll go one shot. Okay.
Right, there you go. Calvin, unlucky mate, but I reckon you got enough skill, mate. You got enough skill to do that again. And earlier on in the season, this happened again, and it happens at Arbeck Dory. So yeah, everybody.
This time we'll do OSQ though, but yeah.
Yeah, it's one shot quali, so that's a bit of a nightmare at Qatar as well. But yeah, it's a restart lobby, so accept the new invite, and we'll go from there. I know, mate, but. There we go. There's everybody's invite. Stiggy, I'll see you in the new lobby, bud.
Yeah, Mason set an invitation, so we'll hopefully join up.
Calvin, why? No.
Yeah, yeah. It's Appreciate Calvin. Mate, I don't think you'll have a problem, mate. Just bring it home and you'll probably be fine. I'm sure.
Someone told me, Stiggy, after last week's win, he's invited the whole family round, and they're all sitting there watching him race. He's put it in
He's
pole,
quick.
and now we've restarted the lobby.
He was
I
quick.
reckon it won't be too long before he gets bumped up again. To be honest with you, 'cause he does look quick. He looks
He was
very
quick.
quick.
I think he joined a bit late, which'll affect him for the rest of this season. However, we've he's got enough of a chance on this occasion to kind of prove his point. Obviously, there will probably be a re-roll when it comes to sign-ups next season. I know that normally the champion of the division moves up a division. So in this case, the likely chance will be our big Dory or Riley will move up to the next
No,
tier.
from what I remember, Stiggy, because you've always been in the top tier and you've never been near the bottom. I fluctuate between tiers. I think it's top six go up, bottom six go down.
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, but then saying that, are we still going to have our four divisions next season? Because if numbers are going to be
Exactly. I
13 on
think it
top,
does
they might
depend on
squash it
side
down to
books.
three.
Yeah, I think you're right. They might well do three divisions. The problem is, I think the problem is for the top division, and I think this is the reason why Mass has had the failure. Is there's maybe seven people. There's seven or eight people in the top division that are a
Cut above.
cut above the rest, and then you've got
Yeah,
some people in that tier that are ever so slightly quicker, even more. You've got myself, Stocker, JT, Lemons, Che, Danny when he's not fucking about,
when he's not
Pigeon
causing red flags. Yeah,
when he's
Pigeon.
when he's not having a wank. I think
And
you take
another
the
one who's
Sundays to.
actually, another one who's not actually racing this season, but he's another one. If he, a bit like JT's fast, but the other one I'm thinking about, if he cuts out his nonsense a little bit, is Marley. Marley's a very fast driver.
Marley's very quick. Exactly. This is the point: is that there's I think intermixed with people's driving styles and their ability to. There's an element. Some people in the Masters division cannot race other people. They're rapid at the front on their own, but they can't race. Right?
Tyler,
And
Tyler.
you got a bit of a cough there, mate. However, you take the Sundays division at the moment. Now, I appreciate that. Thing is, every single person in that tier, in the top group especially, have all had a shit race or two, right?
Yeah.
I think the separation between me and Noodles right now is 3 points, right? And me and Noodles have both had our fair share of good races. We've had our fair share of bad. Yeah, the gap is 3 points right now. Stocker, after that, admittedly, is 65 points off Noodles, but that's 2 race wins. A sprint and a main win will bring him back up to that level. But you've realistically got 6 people because Trouser is consistent. You've got Danny, who's quick as well. Danny, I think, actually has been the highest performing on average because he hasn't had a shit race yet, unlike the rest of us. But it's really close. It is all to play for in that Sunday's division because everybody in there can race. That division can race, right? That's the difference between Sundays and Tuesdays is the people in there can race.
Because I commentate on Sundays, as you know, Stiggy, and
yeah,
I'm going to be honest with you.
I never watch your streams, mate. Never see him, mate. Never.
I'll be honest with you, bud. I'll be honest with you. I go into quali, and I can pretty much in quali pinpoint who the top 5 are going to be. But when it comes to the race, I don't know. I don't know. It could be anyone.
It is.
Because it's all good. I've said it many times, and I'll say it again. This is why I don't look at TT as anything. It's all good sticking one lap together, but sticking 25, 26, 27 laps together, racing with other cars beside you, is a completely different ballgame.
It is, yeah, I agree. I mean, you've seen. I mean, I don't know how many poles I've got, but I think I had a good quali session on Sunday's Legacy. I think both in the dry and the mild. Obviously, I got pole in the wet. He
may not want me to bring this up, but speaking of poles and not converting them into wins, we've got the absolute pole no-win legend in the chat in Pigeon. How many poles I've seen that guy get and not convert it into a race win? It just goes to show what PGR is all about. Sorry about that, Pigeon. I love you, bud.
Pigeon, you suck. The problem is saying that, and he's wiping the floor with me on Thursdays. I mean, I joined the F2 division. Yeah, 2 wins,
In
mate.
capital
Both of
letters,
those
I've had
2 wins, they
wins.
were gifted to you. He's had less wins than I've had penalties. This is the point. I've had 6 championships, Pigeon, and you've only had 2 wins, right? Come on, mate, get a grip. No, I mean Pigeon's got. I think I don't want to discredit him for his efforts, but the traction control in the game has helped
Gifted
in
my
this
ass.
season. Bring
I love
it
it.
closer. Yeah,
Pigeon's an absolute PGR
yeah.
legend,
But he
seriously.
is. He is. I mean, F2 is a great example. I mean, Pigeon doesn't run assists in F2, right? And someone has definitely just joined and not put a setup on. There is 100% someone's just joined that
It's
lobby and not put a
Pigeon.
setup on.
It's Pigeon the F1 equivalent of Arsenal.
Isn't it? No, isn't it? I'm not a football person, but isn't it Tottenham?
Tottenham. No, because Tottenham don't win fuck all. Pigeon at least wins a little thing.
At
Like he
least
just
Pigeon
said,
wins. Yeah,
I've
true.
had 2 championships in 4 seasons.
Yeah, I've had 6 championships in 4 seasons, mate. So I don't know what you're about.
Well, they may have
Oh,
been on
one-shot quali.
may have been
Here we
on
go.
lower tiers. May have been on lower tiers, lads. I don't think I've ever mentioned it, or maybe once or twice. But I had 2 championships in 2 seasons. I did. So
Nice job, mate.
there you go.
So all carnage ensuing here in one-shot qualifying again. So everyone cannot afford to make a mistake here. Looks like Calvin has already got a I don't know how much of a lead he's actually got, to be honest, but he's currently going to be probably Calvin versus Arbeck Dory.
Don't look at the chat, Stiggy. Arbeck Dory's putting into first now. Lee Webb.
Yeah, I think Calvin made the
He's
mistake.
another one.
Speaking
Speaking of great qualies, he's another one. Lee Webb. Lee Webb always seems to get it together around quali,
Yeah.
but for some reason, whether it's strategy, whether it's safety cars, he just doesn't seem to get the luck in the races.
Agreed. Yeah, so first set to splits here. Mystery, no, it's not Mystery because my game's all over the place. Lee Webb is the current leader when it came to first set to split with a 30.1 compared to everyone. Next time was Arbeck Dory. Again, Lee Webb, fastest man, currently maybe a tenth clear of Calvin behind at the moment, according to my deltas. Again, I think fastest man in the middle sector actually was Calvin by 0.02 of a second over Lee Webb.
I'm on board with Arbeck Dory, and he's nearly out of his ERS at the moment.
So Alligator's retired from the session, but going through the final corner now.
Lee Webb gets pole
take the pole
by an absolute smidge, by under a tenth. Mystery was disqualified. Great lap, Mr. Webb. Give yourself a pat on the back, sir.
Yeah, 22.4 for Andre. Which is not Andre, is it? Oh no, it's Royal Rumble because I need to update all my screens because obviously since the lobby reset, it's all got really clear.
I can hear Calvin sitting at his console saying, "This has been manipulated, man. This has been manipulated, man."
I don't think he'll be too upset with P2 off the rip. I think he'll be happy with that.
So we've got Lee Webb, followed by Calvin, followed by Arbeck Dory, Prof, Looney Man, Speechy, Riley down in 7th. That 1 point's looking, he's great with Calvin, top man. Gordon Blur down in 8th. He's another one. Speaking of qualify, he's another one. He's the reverse. He never seems to be up there during quali, but I guarantee you he's always up there fighting top 2, top 3 in the race, is old Gordon Blur. Yeah. He's another one.
I think he's had a couple of bad strategy calls since I've been doing commentary, but I don't. That's obviously not the end of the world. For sure. Bullshit one shot. Yeah, it's not. I personally love one shot quali. I mean, we run it on the Sundays tier, and I think it's hilarious because you can't afford to get it wrong, but you also can't afford to have a banker lap. But again, I think it's PGR is all about the racing, isn't it? Unlike previous games, just because you're pole doesn't mean you're going to win the race, right?
Yeah, that's what we've just been talking about. This is
it. I just realised actually. I just want to correct myself here. Lee Webb and Calvin got equaled each other's final sectors to the thousandth of a second.
Wow. I think tonight's going to be. Tonight's going to be a good race. No Pigeon, you're the best, mate. You're the best.
Pigeon fucking suck. He's only good on
Pigeons,
Thursdays. Pigeon's only good on
mate.
Thursdays.
Pigeons. No. This season started off a bit ropey, but he's absolutely flying in DTS at the minute. Did you see? If you haven't seen it, Stiggy, I beg you, go to Armand's stream and watch the DTS race from last week. Fast forward it all the way to the end of the stream and see the move Pigeon makes on the last straight and the last corner in Vegas to go from third to first. Wow.
Rubbish, mate. Pigeon sucks, and you can't tell me otherwise.
But you know what? No matter what happens, no matter what drivers we like, what drivers we don't like, at the end of the day, they're not Jay Tyler. You legend. You legend, Stiggy. We love you, Tyler. We'll see you next season, mate.
Well, yeah, we should be. We'll see if he's still allowed in or not, but he was told he's allowed a season off. Is it the overtakes this? I'll have a look, mate. Give me 2 ticks.
Yeah, go and have a look. No, it was absolutely...
now.
As much as you like the badmouth Pigeon, that was some driving, that was, mate.
Have a look. Overtakes.
Absolutely brilliant.
Here we go.
Brilliant. I was laying back on my bed, laying in bed with my daughter, and that literally made me sit up, and wow, that was absolutely brilliant. But speaking of DTS, DTS Pigeon, where's my team, mate? Absolutely flying, 50 points in front of the combined championship. We are, Stiggy, on Vamos Racing, mate.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah,
so we're on board with Pigeon now into the final chicane, nicely positioned. Mate, traction control merchant. So Milan's got no overtake remaining. Brad is on. Oh, okay, right. That was easy. He squared him up nicely, I'll admit. But he just said, look, he's so much more battery remaining. That's not even a. I mean, yeah, it was an overtake, but it wasn't anything more than that. You just went round him, mate. It was all like horsepower differences.
So I'm going to be honest with you. I'll be honest with you, Stiggy. I had a little birdie tell me the other week, come through the grapevine, as we would say in the UK. That's
National
that Pigeon.
Accident Helpline. Sorry.
I've had it through the grapevine that Pigeon started taking the Spanish lessons because he wants to join Vamos Racing next season. You know, that's what I've heard.
Hello, Stephen W14.
That's my mate Stephen. I used to race with him. One of the greatest racers I've ever raced with, mate Stephen. But he got fed up with F1 because it was just a carbon copy of the same old games. He's a Assetto Corsa Competizione guy. He is.
Oh, there's a new game coming out, and
even
there's the ACE coming out, isn't there?
And we're on board with the rear wing of Lee Webb. He gets a decent start. Calvin, it looks all decent. There's an Aston Martin that's gone onto the purple stuff to get round Arbeck Dory. He's getting an Aston Martin sandwich at the minute. We're still looking back from the rear wing of Lee Webb. It all seems to be decent so far. Speechy's took a position of. Now he's lost it again. It's going to and fro between Speechy and Prof. But everybody seems to have got away fairly decent.
Yeah,
Vamos, Pigeon.
Yeah,
I'll let you go on. I'll let you go ahead, Stiggy, go on.
Yeah, so only man so far on the hard tyres is Riley, currently P8. So Riley going for the long run here. So it's alright, everyone else on mediums, Riley on the hards so far. So he'll be, example, I think it looks like he's already let his teammate by, but I think Riley so far will be aiming just to basically stick with that leading group for as long as he can. He will be suffering for these first maybe 5 or 10 laps, maybe not 10, but probably 8 laps, and then his tyres will start to become good. Problem is for Riley is that he'll be by himself for a fair amount of the race. What he can't afford is a safety car. If there is a safety car, realistically speaking, safety car from kind of like lap 15 and he's safe, right? Any earlier than that and he's buggered, right? He's buggered. He'll have to 2-stop. Those tyres, those medium tyres, right, will only do about 12 laps. I expect drivers will be suffering maybe about lap 8. They'll start to suffer with degradation. They'll start to suffer with tyre management issues, but they'll be suffering hard. So
currently on board with Calvin. Yeah, currently on board with Calvin. He was trying to get the slipstream off Lee Webb, trying to line him up, but Lee Webb wasn't having none of it. Literally was rubbing against the pit wall on going down the pit straight. But it's still literally a whole DRS train from 1st to 13th. No one's really fell out at the moment.
So Andre's currently the risk, just teetering on a second at the moment, but I saw these cars in front
Arbeck Dory got a little bit impatient there, went to maybe try and go for a move down the inside of Calvin, but just touched his rear right hand side wheel, but he pulled out of it, so he managed to get away. No damage, I do believe.
No harm done, I don't think. No
harm done. No damage.
again, I think Calvin has currently got a point to prove. Our big Dory does not need to be risky here. All he needs to do is finish in front of Riley. Calvin is not a championship contender. He would be if he attended enough races, but he's currently not going to be a championship contender. It's going to be all about our big Dory finishing second or third here and finishing in front of Riley. However, he's throwing that completely in the bin. He says, you know what, sod you, Calvin. This is from last week. Side by side through the fast right. Good defending there from Calvin. I think maybe a small bit of track limits exit. I'll have a look at that to make sure if Calvin took a warning there or not. No, he didn't. So no warning for Calvin for exceeding track limits there. So he did get away with it. But this is a great scrap. But our big Dory trying to unsettle Calvin already. This is a great scrap between these two. Last race out in, I forgot what we even were, but Mexico. Did a great scrap all race, yeah. And then, you know, but he's just fantastic racing. It's really clean. And going side by side with the fast right is amazing so far.
And and we've not spoken about Lee Webb. Just put them on lap 2. Put the consecutive. Even though he's always going to get the first one, he's just put the fastest lap in as well. Again, Lee Webb. So he's doing what he needs to do. Speechy's all over the back of Looney Man as we speak, and Looney Man's not too far off the back of our big Dory. So I see this speeder takes it. Cordon Bleu's now fell 1.4 behind Speechy.
So at this point, if Andre's struggling to be able to keep up with this group, this is where that kind of IQ comes in. Is it worth working with Prof and Basin to try and bring himself back into this mix? As you can see, the cars in front are beginning to trip over each other because they can't really go for a move. It's a native problem in this game that you can't really go for an overtake because you'll lose so much time. And the only advantage to doing that is you're maybe finding you have DRS, right? So Andre now needs to try his best to keep, because there's another yellow flag at the back. It's like Alligator.
That's Alligator, I do believe, yeah.
But no, Andre needs to try his best to stay within DRS of the cars in front. If he doesn't, he needs to move over, maybe let Prof have a go and see if he has the pace to catch up.
Hello, Diablo. How are you, buddy?
Alright, Diablo.
Where's your mate Grim Sleeper? I thought you two were joined at the hip after Sunday. There we go, but here goes Calvin now. Remember, Calvin, as we heard earlier, we got a bit of inside knowledge. Calvin's got a point to prove tonight. He's got all the family round watching him race. He's invited them all round. He's invited cousins, his mates, his best mate's sister's cousin. He's invited them all round after his win last week. So he's got a big old point to prove as Calvin tonight.
He does, yeah. He's going to make sure that he knows his worth here as he goes. God
and he runs wide there. I think we've just got in his head there. He runs wide. That is a warning.
Already, I want to say, we've had a load of track limit violations. Riley's on 2, Speechy's on 2.
That doesn't surprise me one bit.
Violations. No,
that doesn't surprise me one bit.
No, it's not. So a few drivers are already kind of picking up 1 or 2 track limits warnings so far. This track is notorious for it, and it will fuck you up. Because
and may I say, actually, now I'm actually on stream, he may not be listening to me, but he may watch it back. Massive shout out to Speechy. On Friday, I do believe, got his first win in PGR in the realistic. So big shout out to Speechy. And I've said it again, I'll say it every time I talk about Speechy. Speechy's an actually legend of a racer. He's one of the few guys that I know that races on pad and does manual gears.
Yes, I know Stocker's one of the ones. I think one of the quickest drivers. I think JT actually might be as well. I think JT might be sort of using manual in a couple of days next season. But I'm currently on board with Alligator, who's obviously 9 seconds off the back. His car is okay. I'm just curious.
Bit of contact between our big Dory and Calvin at the front. We're sitting on board with Looney Man at the moment, and we see our big Dory maybe getting a tiny little bit impatient. Maybe went to dip his nose down the inside of Calvin, and he nearly got spun out. He done very well to keep that point in, to keep that car pointing forwards. Very well. That's a couple of times now he's hit the back of Calvin. Maybe getting a little bit impatient, sitting there in third place, our big Dory. But he doesn't need, like you said before, Sticky, doesn't need to get impatient. As we sit at the moment, he takes the championship lead. It's not all about winning. Like, again, I don't want to mention it again, but Stiggy, we've done, I think, 7-8 rounds of DTS. I'm in first place of the combined standings by 51 points. My team hasn't won a race all season.
No, they don't need to. It's all about finishing second. I mean, there was points. I think I don't know if I've done it in PGR, but in PSGL, I won a championship without winning a race. I think, I just constantly finished. That was actually when I was racing. When JT, I think, was my teammate, because me and JT used to be teammates back in PSGL in the 2017, 2018 kind of era. up until about 21. But I run a championship with
There's
that.
Calvin again for the first place.
So yeah, these two are kind of fighting each other really hard. People to note at the moment is because of what we're fighting right now, Prof and Andre are beginning to work together. Based on looking at the inside of Prof as Andre retakes the lead of the second train.
He's fell 3.1 behind Speechy,
They are falling behind, but at the moment, Dave Riley is sat and keeping up comfortably with this pack. Now at this point, the mediums will start to deteriorate worse as he's looking for a move on Prof, no move there, but see Dave's kind of starting to see if he's got options here. Bear in mind is that Arbeck Dory is fighting Dave, right? And right now, Arbeck Dory will be thinking, oh nice, I'm 4 or 5 seconds clear of Dave at the moment, but Dave's on the wrong tyre. You're expected to be that far behind. You're expecting to be this far behind this guy. Alligator pits for a set of hards. That's not for damage. I suspect he's on a default setup. I think.
Yeah, I think he said that. I think I see a comment when he hello Gaz, how are you, bro? When he put a comment in about qualifying, he said he did put a setup on. I'm sure I see that comment.
So
and now look, sorry, Calvin. Well, maybe Arbeck Dory defending a little bit off Lee Webb has lost the DRS to Calvin, and now he's soon going to become sucker to Lee Webb, because Lee Webb, Arbeck Dory could lose 2 places. Arbeck Dory could lose 2 places.
Arbeck Dory needs to yield this. There's no point in fighting this at all. Let Lee Webb by. Even let Looney Man by. There's no point in fighting this right now because you need as a group to catch as Arbeck Dory starts fighting. Looney Man, you need to catch up.
Try to hang it around the outside. That's a great move there from Looney Man.
Great move from Looney Man.
Hang it all the way around, knowing that after that first right hand he was coming into a left-hander, so he just kept himself in it.
Wants it. Speechy considering the choice there as Arbeck Dory was trying to charge his battery, but again, Lee Webb and Looney Man need to get back into Calvin's slipstream, otherwise it's almost game over.
They are.
Calvin's single lap pace was Calvin's single lap pace was awesome during the Mexico Grand Prix, but what kept Arbeck Dory in it was just.
Hey, there's a big lock up there, does Calvin. Big lock up. I don't know if he's on ABS, but he's had a big lock up there.
Yeah, so the game sadly is notorious for smoke. It's a silly smoke season. Drivers on the good news is drivers on the PC can turn off those particles. People on PS can't. So I know that I have to deal with it. You've got people locking up in front of me and getting smoke. I'm notorious for smoking my tyres as well and the brakes. But again, nothing to worry about. Good news is at the moment, Calvin's doing everything he needs to keep outside of a second. And again, he's maybe a 10th clear. So he's done it again. Looney Man, only or just about on the cusp. But Looney Man might not even get a chance to come by Lee Webb at this point. But right now, this is going to.
I think the one who could be making a move this time round could be Speechy. Speechy could be the one.
Speechy's not actually trying right now. It's Arbeck Dory yielded,
so it's okay.
Lee Webb again, he's caught up again. So I think right now, Calvin is based on his batteries charging up at maybe doing a charge lap at the moment. But the instant Calvin gets away over a second and keeps it there, it could be curtains. Good news is Lee Webb's last lap was 6/10 faster than Calvin's, but I suspect most of that was in the first sector with DRS. But again, Calvin doing a lot of charging now. 70% on the in that Alpine, so I'm assuming he must be trying
Arbeck Dory's sitting there on 100% ERS. Speechy's on 87.
He's got a lot, exactly. So a lot of charging going on as as Calvin actually is now using all of it. So as Alligator, I think will probably be calling it a day.
Enough. Yeah, unlucky Alligator, mate.
Is that a pit late? No, he's dropped it on track. Alligator's dropped it. This is no. This is a reportable offence. I think here he's been disqualified going the wrong way on the track. The game's put him back onto the track. This is better not be a safety car, but he's just I think he got, I don't know what he was doing, but he got himself disqualified from the session here. I hope that's not a safety car, because if that is, that's a race ban.
Race ban,
automatically. Yeah. So we'll have a look right now. Drivers are going to come up to final corner. They will be under, I think, green flag conditions for another couple of sectors, and then they'll get the yellow. The problem is, I think that Alligator's car, I don't know if it's solid or not anymore, but it is currently going into turn 1, just about. I'm sure it's going straight off wide. As are now are in yellow flags. So
Lee Webb has just overtook Calvin.
No, he's carrying on, so Lee Webb not having to yield, looks like might have got away with it. So lucky escape for him, lucky escape for Alligator to not give a penalty for that. But if that was a safety car, that would have been a straight race ban. So
but yeah, I was very surprised that Lee Webb was able to overtake Calvin on the yellow flag there.
Yeah, it might have got lucky, or it might have been a local yellow that was that the guys on the track don't see because the car was disqualified. I don't really know, but just looking at the timing tower now, Looney Man is struggling to keep up at the moment. He's just outside of a second as Lee Webb again takes the lead and is starting to stretch his field out even more. Andre now 4.6 seconds behind, but F1 Riley P8 on those hard tyres will now be, theoretically speaking, the fastest man on track.
On track, yeah.
Should be, once he gets released, I suspect Basin at this point, Basin if you're listening, Basin should really let Riley go by here. There's now the point where Basin needs to yield that position, let Riley by, and both of them need to work together and get rid of that B car in front of them, and Basin needs to be dragged along for the next sort of 2 or 3 laps. I suspect here you'll see down into turn 1, Basin should do the right thing and maybe yield. He's doing it early,
He's done it now, early. He's a legend, Basin.
So we'll
He's
see,
a
have a
legend.
look.
My
Was it the right
teammate.
decision? Was it too soon? But Riley will get the overtake on, he'll get DRS. Riley might be
He's
able
kept
to...
it in, kept it in, yeah, kept the DRS, yeah. But he's very low on ERS though, is Riley. Very, very low. Mind you, Gordon Blur ain't too much in front of him.
Yeah, Basin won't come by here.
But it looks like Lee Webb and Calvin currently are trying to make this race into a two-horse battle. Arbeck Dory did get Looney Man, but he's now 1.2. And Arbeck Dory now, he's burned a load of ERS. He's now down in the 30s after being at 100. Maybe this time a lap ago.
Over 70, these two drivers. So I mean, look at this. Lee Webb though. I mean, is Calvin been trying to back into try and get Arbeck Dory back into this? Maybe he wants the cars behind to fight. But Lee Webb.
Big look! He's locked up a couple of times now into that corner.
Lee Webb has got some serious pace at the moment. I mean, he's struggling to contain his excitement right now. Lee Webb is practically pushing Calvin through this lap. I mean, this is some great pace. This is from Lee Webb. I think Calvin's concerned. I'll have a look, but I think Calvin actually might be on 2 warnings now. But
no need to apologise, Alligator, mate. No need to apologise, bud.
Yeah, no harm done, Alligator. You're okay. So actually, Lee Webb and Calvin both on
I'm not one to...
Oh, no!
Just as we're talking about him. 3 seconds.
Picks up.
I don't, Stiggy, as you mentioned earlier on in the comms, mate, I don't think that's the last of the penalties around this track.
No, it's not. No, I mean, Calvin...
Here goes Lee Webb now to take his place. Calvin's going to see that coming and just going to let him go by. Arbeck Dory's now fell 1.9, and that tells me as well that DRS getting pulled along because they've just pulled half a tenth out of Arbeck Dory in that lap.
Yeah. There's good pace. This is the problem, you see. So now you need to have Looney Man and Arbeck Dory need to work together as opposed to fight. So Looney Man, realistically speaking, should be charging his battery behind Arbeck Dory, getting to kind of keeping it maybe 6-7 tenths of a second throughout the lap, skyrocketing by as he goes wide. Commentator's curse kicks in again as he, charging a battery up and then go by Arbeck Dory and then using that battery to fly by on straight and then do a hot lap, right? But at this point now, these drivers' tyres will be tired, right? No pun intended, but they will be tired with a Y. And we'll see now. Realistically speaking, Dave Riley should now be starting to catch up. Pigeons, that's crazy how his sister is. Yeah, no, so Dave Riley now should be starting to catch these.
I was just about to talk about this. Is where these next 7, so there it is, guaranteed every week. These next 7 to 8 laps will define Riley's race.
Yeah, agreed. Lee Webb, I think, has just picked up 2 more. He has. Lee Webb just this lap has picked up 2 more track limit violations. So as people in the pit lane, Arbeck Dory in speech, you take the pit lane line. So this is it now. As Calvin takes the lead, these drivers going for the undercut. So at this point here on this outlap, these 2 will lead. So you will have Arbeck Dory and Speech who will take the lead. It depends.
Bastard. I'm
Right, I've asked Pigeon I've asked these guys this story. It turns out her fiance was in the chat. I told him for Melanie had to lube up to try and save face. So wait, what Pigeon is Reefsky streaming right now? Then I'll have a look. I'll check Twitch and just see if
yeah, Reefsky's in Apex. Reefsky does Apex. I think Fear does Champions.
Right, let me just ask Reevesy how his sister is then,
Tell him Mick sends his love.
I'm just reading the chat.
Not for the sister. No, not for the sister. I send my love to Reevesky, mate. I'm happily married, I am, mate. Getting in trouble, you will.
We'll be in it.
Royal Rumble is 3 seconds.
Pigeon said is your sister here, yeah.
But Dave Riley, look, he's not making the gate. He's 6.2 seconds behind Looney Man.
Yeah, that's surprising actually. I think maybe Dave Riley must have made a mistake or something then in the previous laps as Lee Webb decides to take his chance to box here. So this is actually going to do Calvin a favour because Calvin means he can push like hell on that hard tyre and not have to worry about any kind of degradation. Well. So this is a big risk from Calvin here to stay out of the lap. But again, if there's a safety car now, Calvin's in the best state.
We've got Calvin and Cordon Bleu. But Cordon Bleu, he's the tyre whisperer. He's the tyre whisperer of the Elite Division. Some of the laps I've seen this guy do on his tyres is unbelievable. Because look, he's on now 12 lap old mediums and he's keeping up with Riley.
Yeah, so right now actually I think Andre's best bet is to maybe stay out and get towed along by Riley. I mean, you know, there's no benefit as Mystery is the next person to pick up a penalty, but there's no benefit at the moment apart from the undercut for Andre to box. If he's getting dragged along by Riley, who should be realistically speaking lapping pretty quickly at this point, we'll have to find out. But as I stay out for a little bit. So right now, 5 drivers have not picked up a penalty. I know full well that Lee Webb, I think, actually is on 5 warnings, so 1 more off a 6th off another penalty. Because he got 2 on that lap that he overtook Arbeck Dory, overtook Calvin, sorry, to stay out. But I'm expecting here for Calvin to pit. I think Calvin would be silly staying out another lap and doing
Calvin currently has a 25.6 second gap to Lee Webb.
Yeah, that should be enough. Calvin signs the picks here, and that is a fantastic in lap because Dave Riley has not caught him. Dave Riley has not managed to catch. So I might be mistaken. Maybe the hard tyres aren't. Maybe the hard tyres aren't as fast. Right. So if they aren't as fast, Dave Riley, once he pits, could be flying. Absolutely flying. So let's see where it comes out. We're on board with Lee Webb. So we see Calvin getting his new set of boots, and I think Lee Webb and Arbeck Dory will jump him. As he's going to come out, or we're going to be side by side to turn 1. This in lap, Calvin with a fantastic. Overcut of 2 laps.
And Arbeck Dory's gone deep. Arbeck Dory's gone deep.
Side by side here between Arbeck Dory and Lee Webb. A little bit of contact, but nothing, no harm done, nothing there. Calvin now needs to absolutely just disappear. He's got the chance to get a lap in front of these guys, take this time and get a second clear right now, and he's almost sown the seed for his victory here again. Lee Webb and Arbeck Dory need to stop fighting and try and just stay with Calvin until later on into the race, because Arbeck Dory's tyres are going to be 8% older than Calvin's are at the moment, and Lee Webb's will be about 4, right?
I can't go over Cordon Bleu. Look how close he is to Riley. And I've just seen your comment, Pigeon. You let me know, mate. I'm about an hour and a half away from the track, and if you do need any info, the main man here in 6th place, Speechy, he went, even though he didn't come and see me, the little knobhead, he went to the Spanish Grand Prix last year. So if you need any info about the Spanish Grand Prix, he'll be the man to speak to, because he actually went last year. But yeah, if you want to come over, Pigeon, let me know. He took him. I'm about an hour and a half away from the Grand Prix track, mate.
I was expecting, to be honest, Andre to probably box that lap, because now he's done half the race on a set of mediums, which is excessive. He's got a puncture. Andre's got a puncture, I think. Is that a puncture I thought I saw on the front left? Well, it looked like there was like some delamination, I thought, on the front left of that tyre. Apologies for the jump scare there, but I thought I saw the delamination animation come through on that front left tyre.
It took me a lot to realise on Sunday that Stocker had a puncture.
You could see the actually. The problem is I can actually see the graining on that tyre. If you're on board, you can see that front left. I've just took off the leaderboard to give you a full picture of it, and you can see it. Yeah. So the last thing he wants to be doing with that front left is riding over the curbs. Yeah, he's at a risk now. I mean, he should be boxing this lap. I think what he shouldn't do is go on the softs. Softs are not the tyres. He goes wide there. These tyres are knackered. Look at that. Understeer central here. Dave Riley might well benefit from following him in and seeing if he can get the mediums to work. Maybe from this point it's a big risk, but you know,
he hasn't
stayed out yet.
I thought that was a pit entry. Sorry, calm down, Mick.
Wrong game. So good stint there. He will lose. Andre will probably fall to behind Looney Man at this point. but he'll be quicker. Dave Riley will probably do maybe one more lap and then probably put the mediums on. He's seen that Andre could do 15 laps on a set of medium tyres on full fuel. So it's obvious with a car that probably has half the fuel it did have, can easily do the same. So he should be, again, he'll come out actually alongside Royal Rumble, so he's actually had a really, he's come out in a bad position there, as he's about to be jumped by Basin and Andre. Safety car deployed. Riley's taking the lead of the race.
Well, he's
so Riley
no, he's got 13 seconds. He's got 14 second gap. I think
that might be enough. It might just about be enough. But
so I was just about to say for that safety car that come out. But how's it come out? Because Mystery's in the pit.
I wonder if then maybe Mystery would retired in the pit. I don't know. I didn't see Mystery's POV. I just saw the safety car pop out. So Dave Riley will absolutely be boxing this lap.
Yeah, because I was just about to say, I was just about to say, Stiggy, before that safety car come out, will Riley, seeing how close Lee Webb, Calvin and Arbendori are, will he extend his stint just a couple of laps, knowing that they're going to be battling and that's just going to extend his gap?
I think I'd be inclined to box anyway, maybe this lap.
But yeah, obviously he's 100% going to box now. 100% going to box.
I mean, the thing is, the question will be now is that do the other drivers box? You got to bear in mind now that people like Prof, Payfee, Basin, they're on 4-lap old hards and at the back. They have nothing to lose here. So you expect, and we saw how strong that medium was in that first stint. Even with the likes of Andre keeping up with Riley, it might be beneficial that these guys pit again. I don't know if that's speeching
Lee Webb pits. Calvin stays out.
Here we go. So this is fantastic. This is now, I think,
pits.
Calvin
pits.
Yeah,
Royal Rumble. He's not at the pit lane yet. But wow.
Basin's in as well. A couple of drivers fighting in. Yeah, this is what I was mentioning here, right? This is people haven't got anything to lose here. We saw how strong those medium tyres were compared to the hards. So this is now Riley's race to lose, and I'm going to put all the pressure on him.
The only thing with Riley, he does that 3-second comeback to bite him in the ass.
Yeah, I think it might. Well,
Has he got any more warnings? On top of that?
I'll have a look for you now. I'll have a look. You keep the stream, because obviously you're the guy with the stream, so I'll have a look for you here. Do some Martin Brundling. Doesn't look like it to me. No. So Riley is only on three tokens.
As Calvin on 2 tokens. Andre?
Calvin's on 2 tokens. Arbeg is on 2 tokens as well. So they've only got
Andre.
Let's have a look for Andre as well. 1.
Oh.
So Andre's got.
He's just gone into the back of Dave Riley. Is there going to be any penalties given out here? I don't think there is. It was only a tiny little love tap. I don't think he's got damage either.
I think they're luckily a bit more lenient on this game, but the good thing is at the moment is that this is absolutely Riley's race to lose now, and he might have lost this at the start of the race, getting those penalties. Good news is Riley. We saw how good those mediums were in that first stint, and maybe because of my advice. Because thank you for watching the stream, everybody, and tuning in. But they might have been listening to me when I said you got nothing to lose, put the mediums back on. But we saw how fast Andre and how, I guess not easily, but he was able to keep up with Riley on tyres that were easily 50% older in terms of their wear percentage than Riley's hards. So
I reckon we'll do one more lap round on the safety car as well.
It will be one more full lap. So this is now. So
the mediums. I'm just going to go and get myself a drink, mate.
Thanks for the advice, Stiggy says speech, no problem, Speechy. But again, I think Riley here will be aiming to, he will have no problems with tyre conservation. No one will. Every single person will be able to go flat out to the end. No issues with tyre conservation. So we'll see what happens here. But I'm expecting really that Riley will take a lap, maybe or 2 to get in front of this pack in front of him of Calvin and Arbeg, and then we'll probably see Riley maybe disappear off. If Riley gets a second, it should be easy to get 2 or 3, because I don't know how much Calvin and Arbeg will want to work together, but this could be fireworks here. Arbeg and Riley, again, are fighting for the championship at the moment. They've got 1 point between each other. Arbeg will not be wanting to let Riley by, but Riley will be going for every move he can. Now Riley, I know that, I don't know if you're listening or not. Riley, if you're listening, can you just pop your overtake on for me on your ERS, please, mate? If you are listening, just go into overtake mode, mate. It'd be great. Just so I can see if you're listening. Just put it into overtake mode whilst you're in your safety car period. That's hot lap. Oh, okay, I think that's Maybe I'm absolutely okay. I think he is. Right. So Riley, I know that you have your fair share of appeals come through as well between races. Do not go for a stupid overtake. You've got 11 laps remaining. Your tyres are going to be miles better than the cars around you, right? Yep. Make the right decision. Go for a simple overtake on Arbeck-Dory, because they won't have an answer to you. Your tyres will have a net gain of about a second a lap gain, right? They're not going to contest that very easy. It might take a lap or two for you to get a chance to do it, but don't just dive them. Think positive here, because after all, you'll carry that penalty. They've only got a warning spare themselves, so again, if you're racing them and you do it correctly, you might be able to get them have an unforced error and go wide, especially if you're racing them really hard. You can give these guys penalties, right?
and this corner, sorry, Siggy, and this corner we're going through now, if you're saying about staying patient, this is where he'll find all of his gains around these fast right-handers.
I mean, it'll be traction zones and these corners here, because these are flat out on a set of mediums and not on a set of hards. This is Riley's race to lose, and again, I've said it before, he might have already lost it by picking up those penalties. But without those, Riley, in theory, should be the first over the line at the end of this race. Whether it's by 3 seconds or not, we are going to find out. But you know, this could be a great race. And safety cars breed safety cars, flags breed flags, right? You do not.
I'm going to go on board with Riley as well. And may I add as well, I've completely forgot. This is my first race I'm commentating on Riley since he's joined my Vamos team. Vamos, Mr. Riley.
So here we go then.
But
Green flag racing
right
here.
At the back of him.
Cordon Bleu's got a
right
Cordon Bleu could be he's actually yielded. Cordon Bleu's got Andre's got no. He hasn't gone for it. First thing I thought Andre should have seen that chance and gone up the inside of Riley, because he can.
Look at the difference. Look at the grip. Look at the grip Riley had there. I'm on board with him now.
Yeah,
and he's
Riley's
just
about to
clawing
dispatch in this McLaren at the earliest opportunity. I think Riley will go for a decent overtake. Again, he needs to play smart here.
Vamos, Golf.
I'm surprised Andre didn't go for a move though. Andre had a great run, he put it in medium. Andre could have launched one up the inside there, right?
Especially when he's got a stack of medium runners behind him as well.
I agree. Andre's about to have to deal with, overtake will be overtaken, because you've got everybody on fresh medium tyres will be fighting each other as Looney Man goes round the outside of Lee Webb. Side by side here, I think Looney Man does get done round the outside of Lee Webb. Great move there. Lee Webb has to concede, but Lee Webb's not out of this yet. But Looney Man could be race winner. He's the fastest guy on track who hasn't got a penalty at the moment. Looney Man is not out of this race either. So Riley needs to get past Arbeck-Dory in the next straight if he can, do it properly. You know, Arbeck-Dory's already struggling with battery issues. Calvin and Arbeck-Dory will have problems with their they can't afford to go wide. Riley can make two. Riley knows in the back of his head he can make 2 mistakes, right? He can make 2 mistakes the rest of the race, go wide, but these two cannot, else they are fighting Riley for position. Arbeck-Dory and Calvin can afford to let Riley go. They can let him go. And as long as they stay with him, they've won the race. That's all they need to do, right? And this is where this race IQ comes into play. Now, they're doing the right thing, having their own race, and trying to keep Riley at bay for as long as they can.
Trying to put it hanging around the outside of Lee Webb, but he doesn't quite make it stick.
Switch back, here we go. Speechy might have a look at the inside here. Where's he going to go? He's yielded. Speechy fought against it for the moment, but Lee Webb currently licking his wounds here. Again, Lee Webb was the fastest man in qualifying and had a great start to the stint, but I think got probably caught out. Oh, is Looney Man goes deep. There's contact there. I'll have a look at Lee Webb's nose. I think looks like Lee Webb might have come out of that without any damage, but Looney Man, I think, must have got caught out by ABS or something, because or no ABS, he lost the rear, didn't ghost. I'm just going to have a look. I think Looney Man's front wing looks to be intact. Have a look at, sorry, that was Lee Webb's. I think Looney Man's okay.
Lee Webb's just picked up another 3 seconds.
Another 3-second penalty. I think, yeah, it looks like Looney Man's car is okay as well. So Calvin now is stretching away from Andre, from Arbeck-Dory, but Riley right now should be squaring up an overtake from this lap, because
he needs to dispose of Arbeck-Dory this lap, this straight. He needs to dispose of him.
Here we go, he's going for it now, overtake on. Look at the exit he got compared to that fantastic exit. Here we go. So let's have a look at the overspeed though. Riley can't do it. He hasn't got the legs.
He hasn't got the straight line speed.
He hasn't got the legs on him. No, he hasn't. But look at Arbeck-Dory down inside of Calvin. He's going to have a look at it. Bit of a half-arse move there, but it did push Calvin offline. So good attempt. But look now, is some car
Speechy gets in front of Lee Webb. They're going at it just behind.
Good move for Speechy around the outside.
This race is a long way from over. Dave Riley's just going to try and put that silver and black car all up in the mirrors of our Big Dory just to let him know that he's there.
He is. I mean, Riley needs to do everything he can right now to push our Big Dory and Calvin off the track without actually hitting them.
Oh, right? And he just went too quickly and he ended up right in the back of our Big Dory.
If Riley can force our Big Dory and Calvin to race each other...
This is where... Basham's picked up for 3 seconds. Yeah. That corner come too quickly there for Riley. He had a great run there on our Big Dory, but he had to get out of the throttle.
Yeah, I think Riley's playing this smart at the moment. He doesn't want to put half a nose in and our Big Dory not see it coming because he'll ruin his own race. And right now, he can't afford to do that. So Lee Webb and Looney Man currently going side by side. Looks like Lee Webb gets the position. Looney Man licking his wounds here. He could have won this race right now, but Looney Man really struggling. Riley, though, I think should dispatch here. He's got more overtake than our Big Dory. We'll see as we're coming down into the onto the straight.
That's a great exit there. Great exit.
Yeah, I think our Big Dory needs to...
He just doesn't have the legs.
Look at that.
He's going to get set. He's going to go for a double. Dave Riley, he's going to go right down the inside of two of them. Let's come off board. Is he getting that? Oh, no, he dispatches a Calvin. He's got Calvin done. That's one down, one to go for Dave Riley.
That was the right idea, though. I mean, he didn't make the move stick on our Big Dory, but now he's got him in his sights. So Riley can take this lap to charge up his battery again. Our Big Dory can't afford to do that. But I mentioned to Riley, I know he heard me, that, don't go for anything stupid. He was 3 abreast. Riley could have dived that corner, right, and maybe had contact with our Big Dory because he wouldn't have made the corner.
There's Looney Man's 3-second time penalty.
Now. Yeah. So this is all about now Riley charging his battery, right? Our Big Dory will have to yield this straight. There is no way... Right, Riley will not be leading into turn 1 unless there's some sort of stupid mistake right now. What Riley needs to do is see if he can force an error on our Big Dory and get a penalty, because then he's fighting fair, right? So let's see what happens here. Looks like Riley's, the attitude of that Mercedes is really positive right now.
We pray for you, 3-second time penalty. You know what we need to take into account as well? Yes, the screen says Riley's on 5-lap old tyres, but they're not. They're only 3-lap old
3 laps,
due to the safety car. But this is where Riley's going to make his move now. And also what you do got to think of as well, what you need to think of as well, Stiggy, is our Big Dory is his title rival. He's a point in front of our Big Dory. So the closer he can finish or in front of our Big Dory, it's good for Dave Riley. But now he goes into third. This is where he needs to try and extend that and cover off that 3-second gap.
Yeah, so Riley just needs to disappear now. All that pace he's had locked up, being patient behind our Big Dory and Calvin, he needs to use and fuck off into the distance, right? That's all he needs to do now. He needs to unlock everything he's got. But the problem is, if he doesn't get clear of a second now, he's going to lose this race. He's got to put everything he can on the table and try and get that second. He's already got up to half a second at the moment. He should be able to do this. Riley, you've got half your ERS. You've got 50% ERS. Use it.
7
Once
cents.
you're over a second, you charge that all you need. You've got to push it now, right? Because our Big Dory and Calvin will be too busy fighting each other. They won't have the pace, won't have the tyres, right? This is everything
8
now.
cents.
This is where it will matter the most.
This is where he wants to try and make up the rest of his time through his fast right-hander.
Look at our Big Dory now using overtakes. Our Big Dory exhausting all his battery reserves here just to try and keep up with Riley, but Riley's not pushing hard enough. Again, he's purple middle sector, but our Big Dory matched him. Middle sector split for our Big Dory was half a tenth slower than Riley's was, so he's in DRS. He hasn't done enough. He got that gap up to 0.8 of a second, then lost it all. And our Big Dory won't come by him, but he'll be there again. So
but will Calvin now be able to make a move on Riley? And we see a couple of laps ago that our Big Dory looked like he had the advantage. But here comes Calvin. I'm looking on the rear wing of our Big Dory. Riley needs to start making a move and getting this. The only thing going for Riley at the minute is this huge ERS. Well, I say huge. He's got double the ERS that our Big Dory has. Well, now he doesn't. They're pretty much the same now. So he's got it on to 6 tenths. I reckon exactly. Riley's got 3 laps.
Yeah,
3 laps to try and get this.
From our Big Dory. Riley needs to look at his delta and see the fact that I'm 8 tenths clear of our. There's a yellow flag.
Yellow flag.
For Yee. It's a pray for Yee. He's okay. Race will carry on. Look at this.
9 tenths. 9 tenths.
Riley needs to push as hard as he damn well can here. You've got 2
tokens.
Unload use them.
He needs to unload it. There you go. There's the second. He needs to unload on that ERS. He needs to unload. He needs to empty that tank.
Riley could afford to make another mistake here and use track limits as advantage, go wide or something. He has that chance, but our Big Dory here, look at that, he's got no overtake left. So if our Big Dory can't stay within a DRS range here, Calvin will get by him. So this is really all about
and
these
that's
last
what
laps
Riley
now.
wants. Riley wants these two to battle into. But he hasn't done it.
He hasn't done it again. It's
done
just
it.
not enough again. This is the problem, you see, and this is and this is going to be harder and harder every lap because Riley's tyres will be wearing out worse.
But here goes Calvin. Is it going to be a clean overtake? Now, what Riley wants is these two to get into a battle, exactly like they're doing now, side by side, to help Riley out. And look, they're side by side still.
Yeah.
This is helping Riley. There you go. There's Riley's second. There's Riley's second.
There's a second. Look at Calvin. Calvin's not had enough yet. Calvin thought about the option there, but this is not good news for Arbeck Dory or Calvin here now because he's got Riley awake. This is his problem. This is his race IQ.
But that's only stage one though, Stiggy. That's only stage one. He's got 1.3 out. Now he needs to find another 1.6 to clear that penalty.
He's done the hardest thing now, which is get out of a second. The next step is to get as far in front as he can. And the longer Calvin Arbeck Dory fight, the easier it'll become. The problem with that is that the older Riley's tyres will be. So he'll still be faster. He'll still be faster than the cars around him, but the amount he'll be faster will be getting less and less each. That middle sector split here for Riley. Have a look as he comes through the trap. 28.3 for Riley. Arbeck Dory 28.6.
Cordon Bleu's gone right down. He's had a big moment. He's just lost 3 places as Cordon Bleu.
Yeah, Andre here is losing out big time now, but Speechy, Lee Webb and Looney Man all fighting for the back position, but Lee Webb
and they've all got 6 seconds of penalties, apart from Looney Man.
Yeah, he has, so Lee Webb staying in DRS of the Calvin Arbeck Dory fight.
So what Riley wants Calvin and Arbeck Dory to go side by side again into turn 1 and 2, but I don't quite think it's going to happen this time round, because I think Calvin's going to, but Arbeck Dory, he's going to try and cut back. Is he going to have enough? And they've pulled to 1.3 now, look.
Yeah, they have, yeah. So there's this is the race cycle I mentioned before. Arbeck Dory's done the right thing and let Calvin go this lap, right? The problem is he should have done it last lap. Arbeck Dory should have let Calvin go. He had a run, just let him go, because it's not about, I understand there's a race on and you can have this race with 2 or 3 laps to go, right? What you shouldn't have done is giving your title rival the chance to get away, right? Arbeck Dory does 1.9
now to Calvin.
This is the problem. Arbeck Dory does not need to care about whether Calvin wins this race or not. Arbeck Dory needs to beat Riley. Calvin is not a threat.
And he's just had 2 big, and that's the 3rd big lockup he's had in 4 corners.
Yeah, so gap is 1.9 now, but the problem is, again, Riley doesn't need to win this race. Riley needs to finish in front of Arbeck Dory. So right now, the gap we're bothered about is 2.4. Riley versus Arbeck Dory, it's 2.4 seconds. That's a mistake. You can make 6-10 seconds by going wide somewhere, not committing enough, bit of oversteer. Look at Lee Webb. Lee Webb is about to overtake Arbeck Dory, I think, into turn 1 and retake the top 3. Let's have a look. Is Lee Webb going to go for his ERS into overtake, DRS open here, but look at the straight line speed of that McLaren though. Lee Webb hasn't got a chance to catch him, as it might force an overtake. He is, Lee Webb in the middle of the 2 drivers,
this is going to be helpful for Dave Riley. This could be Dave Riley's 3 seconds.
3 abreast into turn 1 and turn 2. Calvin takes the inside but has to yield. Decent IQ there from Calvin to kind of think about fighting these guys later. Lee Webb gets to P3, but the gap is now 2 seconds again, and I suspect at the moment, as we're going to see the end of Sector 1 split shortly for F1 Riley, it's 32.2 for Riley and it's a 32.0 for Arbeck Dory. So Arbeck Dory takes 2 tenths out of Riley in the first sector, but now he's got Lee Webb behind him. But is this good news? If Lee Webb can get in front of Arbeck Dory can get towed along and get in front of Riley. This is this race IQ, is that, you know, Arbeck Dory will take this time and think about how he's going to beat Riley. Do I just let Lee Webb go and get dragged along by him, right? And this sort of need to work out. So again, they've matched each other in the middle sector there. Fastest man in the middle sector actually was Calvin by 0.3 of a second. So I'm expecting here Lee Webb will take the P2 slot with 2 laps to go, but that gap. He's down to 1.6 now, so look at this. So I'm expecting
he's reading the Riley's tyres falling off.
They are. So they're 8 laps old now. They're 8 laps old. Those tyres will be a bit knackered. Although Arbeck Dory's obviously won't be. They'll be definitely the slightly less difference in pace
at that. 1.1. He's in the 1 second. Wow. Look how much they've fallen off the cliff.
Exactly, yeah. So Riley's last lap here, this is what matters. Riley's last lap, 26.3. Arbeg Dory, 25.6. So 0.6 of a second he just gained. And Lee Webb has got more pace. This is it, and this is Riley's race done. So now this is it. I mean, unless Arbeg Dory gets a warning, which he hasn't, he still can go slightly too wide, overcommit, miss your braking zone, can get a penalty, and it's all over, right?
So your winner is coming from Arbeg Dory or Calvin.
It is, and I think at the moment Calvin's been the faster driver this race. Calvin's tyres are again 2 laps older, even with the safety car, they're still 2 laps better. I think Calvin will be able to go for a move here, and again, Calvin, depending on who he prefers, might well want to piss Arbeg Dory off and say, I've beaten you again. Bear in mind, Calvin won the race to Arbeg Dory last week, and Calvin might want to prove his point again and see if he can get in front of him again.
Look how much they closed on Riley, wow.
He has now, gap's 1.5 now between Riley and Arbeg Dory, so can Calvin goodbye here? Bit of a slightly overcommitted entry by Calvin at the final, but decent exit, but I think Arbeg Dory's was better, and again, I think Lee Webb just set the fastest lap of the race.
Arbeg Dory's charging.
Yeah, I think so. Lee Webb, no, if he didn't say no, Lee Webb has just set his personal best of a 24.
Yeah, no, fastest lap of the race was Pray for Ye. He's on the softs.
Yeah, Pray for Ye. Yeah, exactly. So, but then Riley's last lap 25.7, so 1.3 seconds slower than Riley was that lap to Lee Webb.
Riley's tyres are just absolutely falling off a cliff.
This is it.
And let's not count out Gordon Blue. He's currently sitting. I'm just about sitting there in a podium spot, but he's just picked up a penalty.
That's it. Sod's law. Commentator's curse comes in again here. So as Arbeg Dory's about to fall outside of a second of the Riley Lee Webb fight, but this is exactly what Arbeg Dory needed. Is therefore Riley to not drive hard enough. But Calvin, I think, won't be able to get a run on Arbeg Dory as we're entering into the final sector split now. Calvin is going to have to do something ballsy here to take the win. Let's see if he's got anything in the tank as he coming into the final couple of 3 right-hand corners. As Calvin goes wide!
And he's picked up 3 second time penalty, and this is for Arbeg Dory to win.
So this is it now. So everyone Riley will still
if
finish
Arbeg Dory gets a warning on this last lap, it's back to Dave Riley for the win.
It is, but that's it. So Lee Webb, I think, will win the race here, and he does do. Ivan Riley P2.
I know, yeah, it's the last lap. What am I talking about? Arbeg Dory wins. Yeah, it's the last lap. I thought there was one more lap.
F1 Riley finishes second, so he recovers to second place. Calvin will be pissed off because again he could have finished second there, but again it's a P3.
And I believe Dory, what's it? 50. I think there's 50 points for a win.
50 points a P1 and 42 for second. So. 8-point swing in Arbeg Dory's favour here.
And he had a point in front, Riley, so Arbeg Dory's now 7 points in the championship lead.
Yeah, with 3 races to go. 3 races? 3 or 4, I think. Somewhere.
Thank you, Riley. So. Calvin, mate, yeah, if you feel that and you feel you got... Oh, sorry. Yeah. If you feel you got impeded, mate, stick it in the incidents, bud. And let the stewards have a look at it.
Yeah, I mean, feel free, Calvin, to submit reports. I mean, you know, this is the thing, right? There was not a obvious incident, but you are free to report somebody for multiple occasions, or they might get a driving standards warning or something. They need to be warned, right? So if you do deem that there was a certain overtake there that wasn't good enough, feel free to submit that, right? But Arbeg Dory with the win.
Stiggy, we need to pick a driver today, mate. Between the two,
this is a really tough one, but I think F1 Riley got lucky.
Got it from the game, but he's got a penalty.
I think Arbeg Dory's the one that might deserve this. I think after all, he was the one driver out of that top group who didn't get a penalty all race. And Riley was gifted that race win on a plate, right? And he messed up. Right now, I'm not just saying he messed up at the end of the stint. He messed up getting the penalties in the first phase when he got all those warnings. Because then if Riley didn't get those warnings, he'd have won. And this is what you got to bear in mind, right? Don't matter how many penalties.
He can look at it like that, but then 8 laps into this race, albeit it was on a different strategy. He was down in 8th, and Arbeg Dory was up in 1st. So does he take the positives and think it's only been an 8-point swing instead of a 30-point swing?
He will. He might well have done. I mean, Dave Riley will be sat there on. I think the gap. I mean, he started seventh, right? So Dave Riley will be happy coming from seventh to second place, and our big Dory will be happy with the win. So this is a good day out for both the championship contenders here, but just
Yep,
a better
so
day
there
for
you
our big
go.
Dory.
Final decision.
I
Arbeck my
I
friend.
think our
You
big I
are the
think our big Dory. Yeah.
commentator's driver of the day. Dave Riley just hit the nail on the head, mate. Damage limitation from a shite quality. Bang on.
Yeah, I think you're right there. I think and again, I don't know if I didn't see those laps where you're at in the clear, but you were 2 or 3 tenths away from possibly winning that race.
Yeah,
If you'd have managed to get that 9.5 tenth gap ever so slightly more, you'd have mitigated the chances of them coming back at you or maybe fighting each other, and that's all the difference it takes, Dave.
yeah.
This
It's
is
fine
what
margins,
matters,
mate.
right?
Fine
Fine margins.
margins. But again,
But
all you
yeah,
do is maybe don't look at it as a race that's lost. Maybe look at it as take the positives and 8 point swing after a shit quali. But yeah, gentlemen, and from what I see, there may have been a couple of aggressive overtakes that we didn't see on stream, but it was a fairly clean race from what I see, Stiggy.
I think it was. Yeah, I think there wasn't actually any deliberate carnage apart from alligators little boo boo at the start there, but there wasn't any major. There wasn't any accidents. I think there might have been a tag here or there, but again, I think clean racing, which is what we like. I mean, people will be. I think again, this is Qatar for you. I still have the penalty points up. Shout out to our big Dory and Prof for the only drivers to not pick up any penalties that race. And
Bang on.
again, it won our big Dory the race. Sadly, I think it might have given Prof a position or two, but this is what matters.
Yeah.
It's not always
Um,
about being the fastest.
yeah, that's it. That's it. It's getting from A to B, safe and as quick as you can, but as safe as you can. Most importantly.
Yeah, agreed.
All
Yeah,
right, so gentlemen, we are done for tonight. Join us both next week for round 10, I believe. There'll be
yep.
3 races left. And as
Where are
always,
we at round 10? Where are we?
we finished the stream. White Stiggy looks for round 10. We finished the
Singapore.
stream. Singapore, ooh, that'd be tasty. Tune in to Armin and Frank tomorrow for DTS. Lemons is also in the Schumacher division. Go and cheer on the Vamos boys. Thursday, we got F2. Stiggy will be driving an F2 on Thursday with the
Yep.
legend Reevski on comms. On
Yep.
Friday, we got the realistic division with Reevski and Fear. We have a little day off on Saturday, and then we're back at it again on Sunday. I'm back Sunday in the Legacy division, also along with Reevski. His name always seems to pop up on the comms, Reevski. He's back in Academy, and on Monday we are in the 100% division. So catch all the streams you can, support the comms as much as you can. Stiggy, thank you for covering me the last couple of weeks.
It's
Really
alright, it's good to be
appreciate it,
back and
bud.
have the duo back together, mate. So thank you for
Yeah,
coming back,
mate.
and thanks for having me
So
again.
anyway, as always, I've been Mick, he's been Stiggy, and we'll catch you on the rebound, fellas. Have yourself a great week, whatever you're doing. Take care.
Good night.